All right. What's up, JJ? How you doing today?
As another day, another day.
Okay. So, we have our random moments, we have our random conversations, right?
Oh what?
And our random moments and our random conversations,
Oh,
right? And me and you were just talking the other day, why is it so hard for us as a people, but I mean at the same time, I don't know how much you would want to involve yourself in that category, seeing as you have your African culture, which is you guys have a strong relationship of building each other. I mean, of course, you have some that but
that,
y'all have a strong community, if that makes sense, where you guys or is it more of a Muslim thing where you guys have a community of helping each other, trying to elevate, or is it just the African culture itself compared to like American culture where Black Americans or Black people themselves tear each other down at a higher rate and compared to every other culture. And I mean that's far and in between. But what do you think it is? You think it's your African roots? You think it's your Muslim beliefs that or other Africans have that make them want to help each other and call each other brother? Or
not necessarily. You didn't actually put this question easy to actually respond, obviously.
just a
Uh,
mouthful? No homo.
oh.
No homo. I said no homo. Go ahead.
No, that's a very smart way of actually asking the question.
Right.
Um, is it traditional? I mean, cultural or religion? Um, I I guess it will have to be both. I guess, but majority of it, it's supposed to be cultural. But the only problem with that is that we're no dog. Like, we're no different. Like we're no
We as in
Africans aren't no different from blacks
right.
or like every dark skinned individual, right? People of color.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's a genetic thing or like a mental state that we all share. Religion does kind of help us not to be that way.
Right.
So, and the mentality of black hate on black, I think that's a systematic thing. I think it's um, like I do think is a mental illness type of thing. Because the hate is obviously for example, as I said before on the other episodes, right? I don't like black people, and I don't like black people because the fact that they're bad, like bad people, they're not. The reason to why I say I don't like black people as like African American blacks is because the image that that TV obviously introduced to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you know how they say first impression,
Yeah.
is important,
Right.
and that's what it is for majority of us that are not from America. Our first impression of black people are gang members.
Right.
Our first impression of black people are black violence.
Right.
So now we have this idea where they're just mean people. They're into violence. They're into
Right.
hating each other. Like they're into gang banging and whatnot. So, and by my hate, I don't mean it like like I hate them as an individual or as
Right.
a group of people.
You just
But
hate what they stand for,
yes,
or the image they portray.
yes,
Right.
and then and they don't make it easy,
Right.
right? Because obviously, yes, that's what people show us outside.
Right.
But once we come to America, I would like to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I can't.
Right.
It's because, like for example, like the first state that I landed was in California,
Mm.
and I'm a very colorful individual, so I wore all red. I got chased a couple of times. I wore all white. I got chased. I wore all pink. I got chased.
Right.
And I'm like, why you guys keep chasing me? Because you guys always trying to fight me and shit.
Right.
And then there was a Somali guy that was inside the gang member, and he's like, oh, because you're wearing colors that aren't supposed to be worn. I said, how do you determine what to wear? You know what I'm saying? Oh, because this is our color. I'm like, you just pick a whole color and say it's yours?
Right.
And that was just their mentality. And then since then, I just didn't like black people. So it's like I said, I did try to give them, the freaking benefit of the doubt. I did really try, but
Right. But
y'all
see,
don't make it easy.
so here's the thing, and that's where that kind of idea or ideal comes from, right? A lot of time when you sit with another culture and i.e. a racist person, or they hate that person is from another culture and another race and they hate black people. A lot of times when you sit and have a conversation with them, they'll tell you, oh, I grew up in this neighborhood. I got jumped by black people. I got beat up by black
Right.
people. I got chased by black. We got robbed all the time. So, they develop that not say fear, but they develop that anger towards them
Yep.
because they're constantly getting used, abused, and taken advantage of.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's a lot of times that's the underlying factor because sometimes them same people will be like, I don't like them, but I like you because of how you carry yourself, how you conduct yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
But there's it's a bigger spectrum to it where you said as far as like it's a it's a mental health issue and also a thing where um it's deep rooted and maybe it comes back from slavery. Maybe it came back.
I
It's
don't
a
think it's a
thing.
slavery thing.
No, like I mean, if you look at it, you had the house Negro and you had the one in the field,
Right.
and the one in the house was getting treated better than one in the field, which of course it sparks that why he think he better than me, or he might be the one that they send to talk to the other people out in the
Right.
field, and then they looking like, bro, how you gonna tell us what to do? You in there getting AC, drinking lemonade, we out here getting whipped. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So then that develops that
Yes, but
hate
yeah.
towards, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, but you know, um, you have people who sit every day and they're on the internet and they'll, back and forth of like, oh, slavery was so long ago, da da da, stop crying about it. Right. But you don't see them have that same energy for like Jewish people that went through the Holocaust and all that. Like
Right.
when as soon as it's mentioned, it's like, oh, that was a tragedy. The same thing for natives. I mean, natives is a different one because sometimes when it comes to natives, you have people that's like, whatever, and then you have people that they understand. They're like,
Right.
man, you know, we took your land, we ravaged your people. Thanksgiving is like a slap in your face, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
I mean, you had the Dakota pipeline where you had a lot of people going to show support and standing up for them and everything. So it's getting a lot better, but at the bottom of the totem pole is still black people, and I
Right.
think that's kind of the main thing. And I don't know if it's more like people are starting to do it just to troll, or but if you're starting to see it more where people are coming at black people, black people, black people, and it's like you have black people that some are ratchet, but you have the ones that are trying to do better. You have the ones that want to get in these Ivy League schools, who want to get these great jobs, want to be engineers and not just play sports. And you know, they want to be doctors. They want to do robotics. They want to do computers. They want to elevate. They want to grow.
Right.
But sometimes it's hard because they're automatically looked at, and sometimes you don't know where that person came from. You don't know what their family's like. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? But automatically, you know, they're outside in the street and somebody automatically thinks, oh, it's a black person. They ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Without even giving the opportunity. But also they get provoked and you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times you have your own black people that won't come to your defense. You have other races that might come to your defense or won't come to your defense. Like everybody pulls out their cell phone. Sometimes I might help the situation because the cell phones are out. So it might stop the aggressor from doing it because they're like, oh, snap, I'm on camera. So they might,
Mm-hmm.
but for the majority of it, there's not a lot of people who understand the pain and suffering that black people went through or are still going through. But on the same note, a lot of black people are making it bad for themselves. Like, and that's why at the same time with the Black Lives Matter thing, you had that going on, and you know you have different cultures going to these marches to support the history of or the violence that black people are facing, the murder they're facing, the what I'm saying, the constant just fucking demoralized lifestyle that they're getting put under. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then these same people will turn around and be like, "You're not welcome here." Okay, so wait a minute. Do you want integration? Or do you want segregation? Because if you're begging for help and asking for help and you're saying, hey, we're getting used, we're getting abused, we're getting beaten, we're getting killed, no matter what, somebody help us, and then the people come to help, you're telling them get out, go away. We don't want your help. It's like, wait a minute. So which one is it? It's just not making sense. And I think that's a lot of the point of it. Is like sometimes there is outside help trying to come in
Right.
and help, and then us again as black people be like, no, we don't want your help. And then people are like, so why are you crying? We came to help.
I mean, you're right. I mean, that's all it is, though. Is that if you being black, and is that I mean, the thing is, black people have too much pride, and I think that just us being black. I don't know.
I see you keep saying us being black. So you just you love your blackness.
I love being black,
Okay.
right? But like I said, like I would never change anything based on appearance wise.
Right.
But I think our pride and ego gets the best of us because there are so many families that are in need, but because the fact that their cousin might know, so oh, like I didn't know you were broke. Oh, like you going to freaking food bank.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like they won't go to food bank, although they are definitely in need.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? They won't go simply because I don't want this person to look at me this way.
Right.
And like I said, so that's one reason to why they don't ask for help. And then the other thing is that, as I said before, you can't bring black people together. It's literally impossible to bring
and
black
that was the start
together.
of our conversation. So if since you want to jump the gun and dive into it, we're gonna dive into it, right? From the way I look at it is this, you have Jewish people, you have Chinese people, they have these businesses, and they have you have Middle Eastern people, they have 7-Elevens, they have all these different things in these communities that they build up, and their own people support their businesses.
Right.
We did have a Black Wall Street, and obviously you know how that turned out.
Right.
So that's kind of that, you know. So we did have an opportunity where we did have our own freedom to grow.
Right. But you guys made too much noise.
I guess. I mean, but then again, if you say that you guys made too much noise, well, what about the other people that did the same thing? How come theirs didn't get burned down? How come theirs didn't get torn?
Because once again, how many famous black people you know? A lot, right? I mean, not personally, but at least you know LeBron James, you know Michael Jordan. So you have people that are making multi-billion dollars, right? So who do they connect with? Nobody. If LeBron James were to die tomorrow, all his money is gonna go what? Majority of the time to his insurance or his company or whatever freaking lawyer that's gonna take it, and then they're gonna give a couple meals to the family where like they'll be stable. Same thing like Kobe Bryant. Majority of his name is still being made out of money. You get what I'm saying? The problem with blacks not evolving or not being able to do a big effect is that you have no government behind you. And as African Americans, right, you think being in America, like this is your home, or I was a slave over here. I built this country with my bare hands. My forefathers went to the, to war, the World War One and Two, did this and did this, with it, which in the end of the day, which is kind of irrelevant because you still don't have a structure.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And even when they gave you the opportunity to have a freaking black president, I feel like that was more like a mockery thing. You get what I'm saying? Even when there was a black president in the office, there was no big difference. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And the thing about it is that African Americans dislike Africans. Africans dislike African Americans. Right. The only thing is that our thing is matter of fear. Yours is because you don't think you're African. Like since so like early in maybe like 2013 and 14 when dashiki was becoming a thing, that's when people started be like, oh, you know what, let me try to connect with my roots now. Like before 2013, no black person was quote unquote African because they're called Africans what? African booty scratcher, kunta kinte. But so now, hopefully in the future, right, if black people were to make enough amount of money that they can invest in some country, it doesn't have to be Kenya, it doesn't have to be Zimbabwe, it doesn't have to be South Africa, but if you put your money in somewhere in Africa, right? Where you're like, yo, I need your military. I will give you this in case anything happens to me, my family, or my freaking operation. I need you to be a threat. You get what I'm saying? For example, like the Indians in America, the guys that freaking own the hotels, all over 62% of hotels in America, majority of their money is going right back. Why? It's because, oh, I'm a flip, 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 flip. If anything happens, America knows that they can't kill that guy. America knows they can't destroy this guy. Because if they do that, now India has a problem. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's all there is. And Jewish people, obviously, it's very clear. Those guys, all the shit they went through, they stick together regardless of whatever happened. Blacks just can't do that. It's not in our genetics. I don't think we have the mental capacity to actually comprehend that type of strategy. Yes, we can sort of here talk about it, but the thing about it is blacks are blacks.
Right. So, there was a time I used to look at things and I used to be like, man, you have all these black superstars and musicians and celebrities, right? They have all this money. And I'm like, man, why can't they all come together and build an institution that helps other black people? As far as like start a black bank, have some kind of loans, kind of like a credit union type deal, right? And then while I was thinking, I was like, well, then again, they probably not, because a lot of times their own black people are the ones that tear them down. Their own black people be the one that try to rob them. Their own black people be the one that'll get the loan and run off on them, and then it'll mess up everything else for the next person, because they're not looking at it as, man, this is our chance to build the wealth that we keep talking about. Everybody keep talking about that 40 acre and a mule, but a lot of times it's right there if we were to able to work together, and stop with the hate. Right? That's on one side of it. The next side is, I think for us to get to that level, black people need to heal. Heal from the hatred, and to always feel like they gotta fight, to always feel like they gotta they gotta get up today, drink their water, drink their coffee, stretch, and be like, gotta go out into the world. Hope I don't get shot by the cops. Hope I don't get killed by my own people. Hope I don't piss somebody off, and hope I don't lose my, my this or my that or whatever kid. Like if they could just get up to go outside and feel like when they put they work clothes on, it's the American flag, wrapping them and keeping them warm, so they could feel like they're American, it'd be a different story.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly the problem, is the fact that you want to be an American.
Right. But it's not a problem, because at the same time,
it's a problem because you're not an American.
It's not that. At the end of the day, they're a black American that fought for this country.
That's irrelevant.
It doesn't matter. With them fighting for this country,
it doesn't make it theirs.
For them fighting for this country, their offspring, their families feel like, hey, my father, grandfather fought for me to be here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, it's like they want to enjoy it. The same way you have other cultures that was here and their family fought and they feel American because their family fought for it. Why is it wrong for black people to feel like, hey, my family fought. Why can't I?
Because majority of those people, they go back to their homes. Majority of those people go right back to their homes.
Right, but then again, you also got to look at it too. How can you call something your home that you never been at? Even though you on the same note, you're saying that America is not black people's home. You get what I'm saying? At the same time, depending on the generation, like third, fourth generation, whatever, how can you call Africa your home if you've never been there? You know what I'm saying? How can you call Africa your home if you don't know that street, if you don't know that county or whatever? You get what I'm saying?
Simple question.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What is a black thing? What is every black person you have ever met, regardless whether they're Sudanese, whether they're freaking Jamaican, whether they're African American, what is one thing we all have in common, or at least a common understanding? Do you know?
No.
It's head nod.
Like what up?
That's it. I don't have to speak your language. I don't have to speak English.
Right.
The simple fact is like, That's a nigga. That's a black person. Yo, we understand that.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You could be from China. You take that motherfucker to Africa. Hey, that's it. We don't talk. We don't have to say. We don't have to know each other. And like, for example, like a lot of your white friends will simply be like, no. So then why you saying this? I'm like, it's just a thing. It's a genetical thing that we have, and that's what I'm saying. Is that you don't have to think Africa is your home because I've never been there.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But why is it that when you get money, why do you need to go to Hawaii? Why do you need to freaking go to the Bahamas? Why do you need to go to freaking Thailand or Japan or for experience?
Right.
But except for you don't want to go back home because you know all the mess there is. You get what I'm saying?
Right. But okay. To be fair, you get what I'm saying, and that's and so right now, everything we're saying right now needs to be taken wholeheartedly and verbatim for things.
Right.
Because if right now we're talking about it's to the point where black people need to start opening their eyes and understanding, So put it like this, right? You say that. Why go here? Why go there? Again, it's one of those things of, why am I gonna go to a place because it's outwardly known that Africans don't like blacks, right? So it's like, why am I gonna go to Africa if and some people can go there and they get a warm welcome. But for the majority of people with the mindset like, why am I gonna go there?
But no one has gotten a dislike. The thing is, we don't like you because I'm here. The Africans in Africa actually like y'all. The problem is once we come over here, we don't like, not you because you're Jamaican, but we don't like black people because why? They're lazy. They always want to complain. You get what I'm saying?
That's a hard one though.
That's not a hard one. That's exactly what it is.
How can you say black people are lazy? Like
they are lazy.
Like it can't. Let's say maybe 30% out of 100, 30% maybe.
No,
because
at least 60. At least 60% of black people are lazy. And the simple fact to why that is that if you are not lazy, right? If you are not lazy, you can keep a family. Okay. If you are not lazy, you can raise your kids. Forget about work itself. You are lazy to be united in your own bloodline. Right. You get what I'm saying? Okay. So you're lazy at home because your kid don't know who you are. You lazy at work because when you go to work, as what's his name? Freaking Bernie Mac said, when we go on break, we break. Right. You get what I'm saying? Right. And that's all there is to it. It's like, yes, I understand like where you guys are coming from, but the thing is, once we come to America, right? We come to America, we work, we strive, make something out of our life, right? Our kids are going to college and whatnot, which our freaking percentage the last 5 years been increasing. Our women they're becoming like blacks. They got fake wigs on. They want to act black. They want to talk black. They want to look black.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What is act black? What is that?
Ghetto.
How can you...
If you ghetto, you're black. You're acting black.
Okay.
If you are not in your true nature, you are being black. If you are not accepting the fact that...
Okay, it's right there. If you're not being your true nature.
Yes. Being a kunta kinte. If you're not being cornrows, you're pretending to be black. And that's not the good black.
Okay, but see, and then again, those are the things. Like right now, everything you're saying, you're speaking facts, right?
80%.
At the same time, the problem is you're also sounding like the same people that chastise black people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which at the same time, sometimes black people need to hear that so they could be like, you know what? Damn, I need to get my shit together. You get what I'm saying? But sometimes it's gonna be, damn, why is my own black people coming at me like this?
But that's how y'all always, not y'all, you.
Right.
But yes, but that's how they always think like, why does it have to be this?
Right.
Why does it have to be me?
Right.
Why not?
Right.
Accept it.
And at the same time, like I said, it's good sometimes when we have that direct, hey, get it together moment. But, at the same time, we need to say other races do it too, but they get a break. So why is it that blacks don't get the break? You get what I'm saying? Like I said, I want my people to stand up. I want my people to do great. You get me? There's nothing wrong with it. Because at the same time, if you look at it like this, as a parent, you want your child to be great. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same way. If I really look at you and say, "You my brother and I love you," I want you to be great. I want to be like, "Yo, get up off your ass, bro. You got strong legs. You got good arms. You got good health. You're a young age. Go out there, get a job, get a 401k type vibe. You know what I'm saying? Get it. Stop borrowing money. Stop, sitting down and borrowing your cousin and living from couch to couch. Like, yo, get it on your own. Get it. You know what I'm saying? I want that for all of us. At the same time, we have other races that they could do it, and it's perfectly fine. Nobody's chastising. Nobody's at them. Right. And of course, that shouldn't be or crutch to be like, well, they're doing it too. We should. It's like we need to be better, not to prove nothing to nobody, but to be better to ourselves. Because, like, a lot of times you see when black individuals.
Are you the oldest child in your family?
No.
So
I'm in the middle.
But you know who the oldest child is.
Yeah.
So why didn't the oldest child get a break?
Hey, man.
That's exactly how it is. The simple fact to why the oldest child never gets a break is because the same reason to why black people can't get a break. If you first, right? If you first, everybody else is trying to be better than you, superior to you. It's just the way it is.
Right.
And what science have already came to the conclusion. First people that were ever to be created were black. Until time of Homo sapiens, people were still black. And then once it gotten out of that era, then people started changing colors. So if you're already the first, which is the fact that you're the oldest, now the expectations for you is always going to be higher than everybody else's. So as a child or as a human being, the simple fact that people have expectations for you, it doesn't change anything. How you approach it and how you see it will obviously change. But as they said, the best way to corrupt black families is to take the families apart. And as long as your women believe that they could be independent.
But see, here's the thing. Like what you just saying is like, okay, that's kind of the crazy part about it. The way you express that, right? It seems like it's set up for black people to fail. The system is already against them. But but from the way you're saying it, it's like, bro, like what you just said. It said they want us to not have a man in the house. They want us to make our women think that they don't need a man and all that stuff. So it seems like there's a construct set on purpose for black families and black people to. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so why is that not done to any other race then? Why is it so much so that black people is always the ones like with the target on their back?
I think it hasn't been done to everyone else. Really? I do. The only thing is that it's that when you do it to other race, for example, Mexicans, right? In the US, the lowest class of people will probably be Mexicans. Not because they're mentally or based on like intelligent wise, but based on society wise in the United States, the lowest class of people would most likely be Mexican. The simple fact that they probably most likely came in here illegally or whatnot. But why is it that the people that are told, hey, you're here but illegally, so get out of our country, the people that our whole freaking president is making a wall for, but yet they don't seem to break apart when it comes to being united. A Spanish person, they have gang members as well, right? But when another race comes in, it's not, oh, well, that's blood, so let them do their thing. It's not. It's a simple fact that, you know what? Whatever they said to themselves, now we're both fighting together to that black or to that white. You get what I'm saying? So it's all matter of just a mental thing. And when it comes to mentally, black people aren't the strongest. They're just not. I mean,
I see that.
All type of colors. I mean, people of colors.
Listen, I just know that for things to be what it is, like black people need to unite, and that's the issue. And me saying that, right? It's a list. It's a list that starts. So first, it would be to stop feeling like we're victims. Like, bro, at the end of the day, everybody's a victim, right? So it'd be like, if you're not gonna get nothing from being a victim, then you got to become your own savior. Fuck it,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like if you still want the 40 acre and a mule, and it's been this many years and you ain't get it, it's got to be like, yo, you know what? That acre and a mule ain't coming. Let me go out there and go get it, or figure out how to, you know.
Right.
So that's one. Two, we need to understand that we all been through the struggle. We all came from different places, and if the world is going to be against us, then we need to unite and take care of each other. Same way, like you said, like with Mexicans, how they take care of each other and they stand up for each other. Same thing with white people, like they'll have each other's back. The same thing with Asians. The same thing with Arabs or Middle Eastern people. They take care of each other. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard with the Middle Eastern because of the Muslim thing. So it's like it's more of a brotherhood thing because they're in the same religion.
Right.
So maybe that's why it's such a a strong knit. Like we don't know because we're not around them daily to know how they really treat each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's the next step is starting to look at each other like, yo, I don't know you from a can of paint, but we got the same blood, we got the same skin color. Let's figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Stop trying to like tear each other down for no reason. I don't know you don't know me, but I'm trying to tear you down. Or I'm already trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, stop. Like, me and you right now, we come from two different worlds. We in Kentucky right now. I'm walking by myself. I'm the only black person here. I see another black person. I should feel like, whoo, what's up, brother? You know what I'm saying? And you should be like, come on this side, I got you. You know what I mean? Rather than worry like, man, I wonder what you're going to try to do to me. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa, right? Next is, you have it every day, everywhere. You have a lot of black women screaming, black men don't protect black women. It also needs to understand that black women need to protect black men also. And a lot of times when black men come to a lot of black women aid, depending on where they're from, depending on their mindset, they be the ones that get the black man locked up, or whatever, or put him in a bad situation. And it's like, if you want us to protect y'all gotta have our backs too when we need it. The most thing I see, and I think it's, it must be like maybe they're hurt. The most thing I see is whenever a black celebrity goes and he talk about white women and talk about how great they are or whatever, the first thing black women do is like, oh, he don't like black women. Okay, that's fine. When anything happens to that celebrity, they can't wait to go on social media and be like, you know what I'm saying? And instead, it should be like, how about y'all just shut up? Don't do that. Like, he down, and
Not
maybe, but at the same time,
not a black woman.
you still gotta understand, like, if the reason why he's saying that is because that white woman helped him, that Hispanic woman helped him, that Asian woman helped him when he was down, when all he had was nothing, and they still rode with him, been through the struggle, watch him lose job after job, and he's trying to get it, and still had his back, bro. Of course he's gonna be loyal to that.
Right.
It doesn't matter the skin color. It matters about the value of the woman.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So, like that's what it is. Stop worrying about the color. Start wondering about like why this person is with this person because of what they do for them. You get what I'm saying?
But I think black women do know that. I honestly believe black women know why African men or black men go to white women. That's because you have to be completely retarded for you not to know the basic shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as you said,
or it could be just ignorance.
No,
could just be ignorance.
No,
it could just be ignorance.
Because we lived long enough for us to see that's not matter of ignorance. Did you see
the one where you had the black lady on whatever podcast, and she said that when she see a black woman with a white man, she's like, yeah, go sis. But whenever she sees a black man with a white woman, she's like,
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, so how are you gonna? She's no matter of fact, she's like, when she sees that, she's like, oh, the woman must be tired. That's why she's with a white man. Right. And it's like, well, maybe she likes him. Like, you know what I mean? You can't automatically think
black women
for people
are used to getting handouts. The reason to why they can't accept that,
I can't say that. Like,
no,
there's a lot of black moms that have worked.
Where?
You know what I'm saying?
Where?
And all over the years, man. Like, there's a bunch of black women who have been single moms who fucking, like, what movie was it with Taraji P?
I don't know what that
you know what I'm saying? Taraji P. Henson and Kevin Costner. It's like it's a movie about the black women that like three of them who were like working for NASA and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. But even then, you've always had women, black women.
But who once again, what year was that?
I want to say the 1950s,
right
and up.
Okay,
but they worked.
No. Once
they
again,
had handouts.
No. Once again, the reason why I said black women are used to handouts nowadays, right? After 68, majority of black women are ready for a handout because the whole family.
How about say some?
No.
There's a lot of black women I know that
they
pride themselves in actually working.
Yes. Now they're. But once again, if you're working for yourself, you're not working for black women. You're working simply for majority of black women are single mom. Is a single mom my choice? It is nowadays. But it shouldn't be a choice because the only reason to why you should be a single mom is because you got divorced on a relationship that didn't work and now you're willing to get into another relationship. Or the simple fact that your man is dead. But single parenthood for black women is a choice. They want to be a single mom because the fact that majority of their rent is covered. They're freaking.
You're talking about like Section 8 type deal?
All that. Section 8, whether it's freaking food stamp, whether it's freaking Medicare, or all these other things that a majority of other races do pay for. Right. Because the fact that they have to pay for it because of the income that they're making. Right? Majority of black women prefer to get the handout. They prefer being in a comfortable life where they don't have to own a house. Because their rent is going to be paid until their son gets to the freaking age of 30 and 40, and hopefully he goes to college and probably take care of them. But they're okay with being a single mom, which means that you are okay having a handout. Because how many single moms actually work a full-time job without getting any type of assistance? There isn't. There just isn't.
I don't know, man. I mean, that's a hard one to really.
You want to protect them, I understand that, but protecting them is the reason to why they're crippled.
I understand that to a certain degree also, but again, like I said, we need to get to that point where we heal and we protect each other. You get what I'm saying? And even if we gotta like talk behind closed doors and grab each other up by the shirt, like, you know what I'm saying? But for right now, the way things are, it needs everybody to like fully come together and heal, especially with the violence towards each other, the hate towards each other. You can't come
together if you have identity crisis, brother. Black people have identity crisis.
People have made them have identity crisis because
they can't they can't the projection of it. They can't.
I mean they
do anything.
They can because bro, the same way you said earlier that acting black. This is being black. Not having cornrows is not being black. Having wigs is not being black. Like that's what it is. It's like everybody's allowed to live, but I'm saying everybody's allowed to live. But when a black person tries to, okay, for instance, perfect example, when a black person starts speaking perfect English or perfect grammar, all of a sudden people laugh and say, "Oh, you talking white?"
Right?
It's speaking properly.
Right.
So why is that a problem?
Once again, because they have an identity crisis. They don't.
But why does it have to be an identity crisis? Why can't it just be this black person wants better for themselves and they know that speaking with black vernacular can help?
Think that he's black. Well, I have this type of problem happen to me constantly when I go to freaking African homes. It's because they still have their freaking thick accent and freaking improper grammar, right? And they're like, "Were you raised by white people?" I said, "No, it's not that." But the reason to why there is because if you act better than you think you are, then now I'm offended because I have identity crisis. black people that see successful black people and have problem with that, they have identity crisis. When you over there putting on wig, you have identity crisis. When you're over there bleaching, you have identity crisis. When you cannot stand or look at another black person and say, you know what, this guy's wearing a suit, he's black, oh, he's doing successful, and walk away, but you have to be like, oh, he's wearing a suit, he probably works out somewhere.
Right.
You have identity crisis because you don't understand like the outfit speaks for itself.
Right.
But if you can't comprehend, oh, you know what, this guy's going somewhere, maybe I want to be like him, but you're so, come on, man.
Your ego, your pride is hurt, so.
Yes.
Okay, I get it.
You don't understand yourself, or you don't understand what it means to be black. I mean, bro, like we've been on top of the world.
What does it mean to be black? What does it mean to be black?
Being black is to be mysterious in a certain way.
What do you mean, Mr.? You mean walk around like?
No. Being clever. For example, the majority of philosophers were black, right? Being black is being strong, physically, mentally, being unbreakable. That's what it means to be black. Now these blacks aren't blacks because they get emotionally hurt, emotionally damaged. What does it mean to be black? To be black, it means to be persistent. You freaking built the freaking what the fuck is it called? The pyramids. That's persistence. To be black, right? It means to be united. Families after families after families. Now you became white because you don't want too many kids. How am I gonna afford them? Work, motherfucker. Okay. Do you get what I'm saying?
No. Okay, let's put a pin in there.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't think you can classify those requirements or classifications as being black, because you got other races that do all that too. You got other races of men that's strong. They've been through shit. They've
name one.
through it. What are you talking about? Like every other race men have been through that shit. Look at Mexicans, for instance. Look at Hispanic people. Look at natives. Look at Chinese.
What did they go through?
Bro, oppression too. Like, what do you mean? They go through oppression. They go through debts in the
but
family. They go through like being poor. Like they went through all that, and some of them still get up and just
once again. It's if you look at in unity, right? Mm. In unity, every country enslaved to one race, blacks. Every country that have ever existed enslaved black. And yet, as many times as they try to cancel, delete those guys from existence, they're still black people. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you say, oh, well, everybody else is strong, physically anybody could be strong, right? But when you're strong physically and mentally, then that is different. So they've been, the world, the Romans, the Egyptians, the Americans, the Asians, all try to break black people, slave them, whoop them, do this and do that. And that never, ever took us to where it is today. The only way that they've discovered that, you know what, we can't break these people because they have religion, they have faith, some way, somehow, they are unbreakable. So what do? They say, you know what, we'll give you everything. You don't have to work for it. We'll give you, you want freedom? Here's freedom. You want a job? Here's a job. You know what, you don't even need your husband. Here it is. They'll go to Africa. Hey, stop being family. That didn't work. So what do? Oh, you know what? I'll give you more power than that guy. Here's more guns. Kill that guy if you want to. You don't have to. But if you want to, you can. Boom. They discovered that the only way to corrupt a black person was never to test their strength, was to make them, weak or be dependable on someone else. Right. Because anywhere before that, in any history, did black person never break.
Right. You said religion.
Yes.
I don't think when it comes to the religion part, like especially like Christianity, I don't think that was black people's religion because you know that right there in itself was also a reason why uh, a lot of blacks didn't revolt when they were slaves because a lot of the scriptures were used to like keep them in check.
Yes, in
You know what I'm
America.
saying?
Yes.
So,
And
if you're saying religion, I don't know if you're talking about like Muslim or you're talking about like some kind of other.
I'm talking about
you
our
can't be
traditional
Christian. What is
religion.
traditional? What is it?
For example, when I whistle, when I go,
Mm.
you have a spiritual connection to something that has nothing to do with the Bible.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? Every African, every black, Jamaican, or Cuban that is black, we believe in our ancestors. We believe in some type of spiritual connection. But the Bible, the Quran, that has nothing to do with being black. Yes. Were those used to control certain people? I believe that. I'm a Muslim, a proud Muslim. But do I believe that's a way for them to control us? 100%. Why does my name have to be Muhammad? For me to be Muslim. You get what I'm saying? Oh, why does my name have to be Abdi? Why does my name have to be what do you call Abdullah or Abdul Qadir? Do you know what I'm saying? We didn't have those names. Our fathers, Salama, Manyemesi, Congo, like they have so many other different type of names. Do you get what I'm saying? We had roots, but they made us forget about using our normal religion. Until today, when we go to African events, right? So there's something called Sharero. Sharero is a traditional African dance that's only for Bantu people. Since I think it was about freaking 2010, the majority of anyone that was like majority of the kids would literally just not do it. Why? Because the religion said that's a shirk. Shirk means that something that like so it makes it look like you worshiping someone else, but that has nothing to do with worship. That just means a spiritual connection to your ancestors. That doesn't mean that you're praying for your. That doesn't mean that you worship your ancestors. That just means that you're just praying or keeping their tradition growing, which not a lot of the Africans stopped. So majority of this, we have religion because we had faith in something. Whether it was a god for the sun, a god for this, for that, Africans, blacks, wherever you go, we understand ghosts, we understand what do you call spiritual connections, and we understand some type of like things with the smokes. Like everybody does something similar, and that's the thing. We all had something. But they took all that away by creating Christianity, Islam, and all those other fancy religions.
Okay.
Yes.
I see where you're going with that. And to also add to it, like I said, we need to show each other more compassion. A lot of times you'll see a race will show other race more compassion. We'll trust other race, before we trust our own. And I mean, of course, that goes because of how things are. A lot of times, like every race has some kind of prejudice in there.
Okay.
And there's a lot of times, especially when it comes to like old black people, they go someplace and if they see like a black dog, they're like, let me get the white one. You know what I mean? Like you'd be surprised because you'd be like, damn dog, like I'm black, you black, what you mean? But they're like, nah, you're not competent. Let me get the white doctor. Or they'll be like, nah, let me get the Middle Eastern doctor. He know what he talking about. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be so surprised. You know what I'm saying? But again, it comes from just prejudice. It comes from um, things passed down through our genes or genetics that we've all experienced, and we just don't trust as much until we see. But one of the main things is and I think like that's one of the things we got to fix is, bro, we gotta show each other compassion better. Like
I disagree.
you know what I'm saying? Like, listen.
No, I totally disagree.
Like listen.
I don't think we function that way.
Listen. I have every now and then I get ratchet. I go on World Star. And
That still exists.
yeah. I mean, but the older I got now, at first, we all world star, and it was all good. But then you get older and you start looking at things, and then that's why like sometimes you cannot, if you are a realist and if you stand on your principles and what you believe, you cannot be mad at other races when they say stuff like "there they go again" or "the usual suspects," meaning black people doing atrocious shit to each other, or there's a function and they, because half the times it's us that'll fuck up the moment. Like other races might do that, you know what I'm saying? But the majority of the time, it's us fucking up the moment because of our pride, because of our ego, and because of our uh, mental immaturity. You know what I'm saying? We can't, and that's one of the issues. But like I said, you at first it was cool, but then you get older and you look and you'll notice that you got like a black person one on one, or it's a brawl. You'll notice that we'll try to tear each other's head off to prove a point, to prove how angry we could be, to prove that we're animalistic side take over, and we got to prove that we animals. Like man's on the floor and they still trying to stump him out, still trying to like and then in that little moment you'll still have other black people like, that's enough, that's enough. But they don't need to get that far. It needs to be like, depending, you can't tell somebody how to react when they're mad. You can't tell somebody how far to take something when they feel disrespected or when they feel robbed or when they feel, because you know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, you don't know what the situation is that brought it up on it. You only get to see that little preview of whatever happened. You don't know if dude punched his grandma, or you know what I'm saying, stole her fucking dentures or her walker and ran away with it. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? Because you can't really tell a person how to act when they're mad. But for the most part, it's like, all right, look, you feel disrespected. All right, let's shoot a fade, one on one. You know what I'm saying? The first one to hit the ground, get back up. We're gonna keep running until one of us tap out. And everybody there, as black, in unison, and be like, all right, these are the rules. Ain't no weapons. Y'all gonna throw hands. When this person hit the ground, he gets up. Y'all run it back, or if he's like, yo, that's it, you got it, bro. Y'all shake hand and go about y'all business. If that start happening every time like that over a period of time, I promise you that the black on black violence will stop ending in death. Yeah. And after a while, it'll start. There's gonna be some kind of respect that comes back, because a lot of times, if you notice with people, whenever you argue with someone, you end up being friends with them later on. Like it's a weird thing. Like you could argue with that person or have a fight with that person, and then y'all become the best of friends after that. Like y'all didn't know each other for a can of paint, and then boom. You get what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. But like it has to start with that. Like just the compassion toward each other and the respect, and then let it build to be something else. And then we attack the other things of the man being in the home. Being a father, being a husband, being present. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's where it's got to start, and then after a while, we could work our way up to, you know, maybe like your boy is the manager at the job, and he's telling you like, yo, you can't do this, you can't do that. Instead of you getting mad and be like, man, don't talk. Be like, you know what, man, you right, dog. You in this position right now. I ain't trying to make you look bad. I ain't trying to make myself look bad. You right. I need to tighten up. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like, man, and then now we crashing out and we both get fired. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree with the majority of the things you said, but I don't think we can do that by being compassionate. I don't. I don't think that's a black thing. I don't think we work that way, or nor are we built that way. All right. I believe violence for violence, in the sense where, like you said, if we're beefing, fuck each other up one on one, nothing, we'll be cool. That makes 100% sense to me, because that's what we do in Africa, at least in our tribe. And compassion isn't it's not an art thing. For example, if you think about in your personal life, right? I majority of the time I see you telling people, "Yo, tighten up, tighten up." You're not sitting over there be like, "Oh, what happened to you?" Da-da-da. So compassion doesn't fucking work for black people.
You talking about me?
Yeah, yes,
you're saying in general.
No, you as an individual.
You're saying in general.
Say what?
You saying it in general?
No, I'm not saying it in general.
You saying it in general.
No, say it in general.
Right, in general.
The thing is,
in general.
You saying tighten up to people,
In general.
right? Like I
You're
said.
saying that in general, black people in general.
What?
You're saying like black people in general be like tighten up.
No. I'm saying the fact that you say tighten up to people.
I'm saying that you're saying that in
general, my God, bro. We're not
happy to be saying that.
The statement part, perhaps.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that if it was based on compassion, you don't have to say tighten up, is what I'm saying. Because you tell that motherfucker straight up the way it is, yo, I don't like this, you're doing this, don't do this, or otherwise I'm gonna have to beat your ass.
Right.
Because black kids, black people were never brought up to be, oh, are you hurt? Oh, let me kiss your booty.
So pretty much you're saying that we were brought to be we're warriors.
Yes,
okay.
and that's the way it always needs to be. The thing is that we are pretending to be something that we're not.
Right.
Like right now we're going to like there's more freaking black people that go to therapy than white people.
Yeah.
That I know of.
Right.
There are freaking more freaking black kids that are going to counseling, talking to white people about, oh, what happened? What did you eat? They're not telling the child what the child needs to do. How do you feel about this? Why do you feel like this? Well, you know what? Maybe the thing is, they make it, the commercials are showing white kids, but it's not going to white kids' families. Because white people, they're compassionate to each other because they need to understand, oh, I'm soft, you soft. But not all black people are soft. And we're not supposed to be soft. Like in Africa, which I think I told you this before. I know your kid, you know my kid. If my kid comes home to me crying, you know what happened? Cinco beat my ass. Why? What did you do? Oh, I did this. Now I beat his ass. Why? Because he understands that, you know what? You should have never been coming to complain because what is right, what is wrong is wrong. And we all had that type of trust within the community that if that child does something wrong, beat his ass. If my child is crying, your child is not crying. Now, oh, did you already cry or did you not cry? Oh, I didn't cry at all. Oh, did your dad not hit you? No. So did you guys both do the same thing? Yes. Now I'm gonna beat your kid's ass, and I'm gonna beat your ass.
Right.
It just made sense. Now with this whole compassion, I don't think we're emotional people.
I get what you're saying.
I get
what you're saying, but you know.
Now this is a lot of like, agree to disagree.
It's good. Yeah. I mean that's good though. I mean, it's good that we're built to be warriors, but it's not all the time we need to be on 10 if it's not necessary. I mean, think about it, dog. You got Romans, right? You got Romans, and they could sit there and they'll have a dialect, and you know, one of them in the room probably got a bunch of bodies, and he doesn't have to, you know, act up on whatever. Sometimes he could just make a slight gesture or be like, "Hey, listen, you know what I'm on. Like, come on, man." And then it's understood, you know? And that's what I'm saying. Like, when it comes to us as black people, it needs to be those things where it's just like, bruh, come on, dog.
No,
like,
we're always going to challenge. That's exactly my point. But the things that when a Roman person does that, right, everybody understands, oh, you have to fear that guy. With us, within our nature,
we don't fear each other.
Yeah, it's that, oh, you think you're better than me?
You're a lion, I'm a lion.
Okay, then. Let's test it out. Once you put me in my place, I'm going to shut the fuck up. But until you can't put me in my place, no.
But that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, you run the fade, and then whoever wins, that's it, and then we move on.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But it could consistently be like that as long as everyone understand, like, yo, we're running this fade to squash.
So there's like no getting back later. There's no trying to find you on the street.
Handshake.
Like I said.
You know what I'm saying? Hey,
I support that.
You won.
100%.
You beat my ass. You got it. Fuck it. You him. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I said, it needs to be that, and then we also need to start educating our kids to the point that they understand, like, you know, hey, sometimes it ain't got to be sports. You know, like I have a friend, and she had 3 kids. Yeah, now she got 5, right? But she had 2 sons and a daughter. But the oldest son, he's like more mellow, and he's into like robotics. Smart kid. He's a smart kid for his age, man. And his younger brother, He's sports guy. He's smart also. Not into the robotics, but just smart like as far as like as a regular kid is at
Okay.
school or whatever. And he's a sports guy. You know what I mean? And her daughter, she's just doing her own thing. She's the princess doing her own thing. And I was like, man, why didn't you get him involved in sports and just And then she was just telling me about how he was in robotics and all this, and I was like, damn, you know what? Sometimes we don't have to force our kids or push our kids to be this or that.
Right.
Sometimes like their thing is laid out for them. All we gotta do is just push them, encourage them to be in that. Because I mean, at the end of the day, for him being in robotics, he might be the next doctor that figures something out. He might be the next Elon Musk.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Where instead of her changing the trajectory and be like, yo, you need to get into sports and play basketball or go to boxing, he might go take him down the wrong path. He might,
Right.
end up being too much a party guy and get hurt. He might, you know what I'm saying? So it's just those different things that we need to start talking to our kids and making them understand, like getting these books. But
Sports is the easiest ticket, and I think that's why they take it.
right, right. And a lot of times it's like they want to be like, yo, I want to be like everybody else. I want to get a house for mama and everything. And it's like, what should happen is if possible, mom and dad should already have a house and tell that kid like, hey, listen, when you get your money or whatever, you should be taking care of your family and taking care of yourself and not worrying about us. Because if we're doing what we're supposed to do, then you ain't got to do none of that for us.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's how you build it. You know what I'm saying? That's how we grow. When it's that kid doesn't have to become the father. That kid doesn't have to become the provider. You know what I'm saying? But it's also a weird thing because they say like what strong men create weak men, and then vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But I think at the same time, if you're growing and you don't give as much to your kids and let them work for it, so they understand what hard work is, and then it progresses, it can become better.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But definitely, the reason I was talking about the whole just the black thing, man, is because when I seen the whole Chud the Builder thing, with that goofy ass vibe, it's like, you got people saying like he's there, and it's a catch 22 because he's there and he's like, oh, you're chimping out and all that, and he's just like, yeah, you guys are not mentally, emotionally, like or mentally strong because look how easy I say this word, and you guys are ready to fight over it, and it's like that's not, it's not the word, it's the disrespect behind it. Like people could say the N word whenever it's not that. If you know that word is a trigger word, or it's not say a trigger word, but it's a word used to disrespect someone, that's what is the intent behind it. Because you can say anything else, but that word is used as a way of to disrespect someone or downgrade them. But you're trying to say it like it's okay to say it like, oh, you shouldn't get mad. Let me just say it in your face. But you could have chosen any other word.
Right.
So why that specific word? And then to chastise the reaction behind it. Like you knew what reaction was going to come behind it. So it's like you're trying to play those games where you try to play like you're the innocent one and then play victim when you provoke a situation. Like, bro, I'm not gonna go to the zoo and be like, yo, that bear look like it's sleeping. Let me go over there and wake it. Go over there and slap the bear, and then be like, oh, yeah, my face missing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not going. What you thought was gonna happen? Like, it's a bear. Be smart, stay behind this glass, knock on it. You don't get up. Oh well, leave it alone. Maybe tomorrow when I come back. But for you to know that that's a bear, and like, or for instance, you're like, that's a bear's cub. You know how that bear's gonna get up by his cub, and you go and grab it and be like, yo, watch this, and you know what I mean, run away with it or throw the bear like to your friend, and then the mama bear come and just kill everybody.
Right.
And then you're mad at it for kill. What you thought was gonna happen? Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's just those things. Like lately, everybody look like they're just trying to troll black people and make black people seem like they are the problem. When at the same time, from the ones that I know or the ones that I deal with, bro, my homies are doing truck driving, they're doing construction, they're trying to get better jobs, work on their health care, all that stuff, trying to build for their kids. They're not out there just doing goofiness, and they're not out there like bothering people. So it's like you have all these people on the internet lately that they're trying to do different things just to provoke black people. And it's like, bro, if around, I find out, you know what I'm saying? But don't try to provoke something and then play the victim, and then you have other people who act like they're so blind to like not understand the reason why the situation occurred. It makes no sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy, like, cause it's easy. It's easy for a black person to be like, you know what, man, f that. I'm not even gonna listen. But it's one of those things when they consistently do it on purpose to antagonize.
And I feel like it has to be done, right? And the reason to why that is because people are forgetting how ruthless black people are,
Right.
and I feel like America's getting scared of that. So they need things like this to show that, you know what, these guys are still animals. Because since COVID, black people somewhat are waking up. Like, they actually start caring for each other, and there are more people that are getting too comfortable around black people rather than fearing black people. And I personally think that is kind of getting to them.
Right.
Shit, if I was an American, I'd probably been doing that. I'd probably hire someone just to do that.
I mean, I think
show the type of rage and animals that these people are.
I think, man, at the same time, I think black people still have it in them, but I think they're tired, and their focus is they want better. They want wealth, bro. Like, yo, it's cool to be angry all day and puff your chest out, but when you broke, puff what your I ain't got no child, I'm broke. Like, all this hurt right here. Like, you feel me? But I don't know, for some reason, there's a direct correlation between good health with a wealthy pocket. Like,
Yeah.
whenever your pocket good, like, all this work, like, you know what I'm saying? Your heartbeat a little different. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'll lift a trip out the ground right now. My both pocket fat, man. Listen, take me to I'll grab trees like this. You know what I'm saying? But when your pocket on, everything hurt. Like, you sick. You gotta lay down in the bed. You don't feel good today. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what it is. Black people are at the point that they want better, man. They're, and given the opportunity, some are trying to take it, and then some still haven't been woken up yet. They're still doing the BS, and they're the ones that's making the ones that's actually trying to become senators, trying to become teachers and doctors and nurses and grow. They're the ones that's paying the cost, because you know what I'm saying. And it's just the same way, like, you got other races that they have opportunities and they try to make things out of it, and then they might have their own people that be on goofy type of town and make them look bad. And I get it, but I feel like and it could be social media, because social media spreads whatever. So maybe it's not as bad as we think. You know what I'm saying? But because, like, everything we click on, it's black people this, black people that, black people, black people, black people. So maybe that's why. Because, I mean, the same thing like with cancer. Coming from Miami, it's so big. You don't know a lot of people with cancer. Being here, it's so small. Everybody got cancer. You're like, damn, hold on, like, yo, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? You don't know no more.
Right.
It's like you're like, damn, you had cancer. Damn, yo, where you been at? Oh, I just came back from chemo. When did you have it? Yeah, last week, but I'm good now. You're like, yo. Then the next one, you hear what happened? Such as I caught cancer. Like, I don't know. You can catch it, like, but again, I don't know if it's because it's so small, so you're able to see your neighbor and know your neighbor and everybody else around. So that's why you know exactly how many people. Like, it's a crazy number.
Yeah, I mean, they are multi-trillion-dollar company. Of course, and so many people have it.
You know what I'm saying? And we're running out of time, but I'm gonna say this: I feel like if you took the COVID shot, you probably got cancer,
or about to get one.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it like that. Me and JJ will get at y'all next week. So good rocking with us. Any comments, concerns? Drop it. Drop it in the comments. Say how you feel. All right, bless.
Yes, sir. Yep.